Hi everyone, my name is Aubrey Hobart and I'm the curator at the Roswell Museum and Art Center. Have you heard about the Big Read Roswell? We're encouraging everybody to read the same book across the city. It's a book called Into the Beautiful North, and it's about a young girl from Mexico who's inspired by the Magnificent Seven and wants to come up to the United States and find 7 men to help her save her village. It's got all kinds of interesting themes about borders and crossing and migration and all of these sort of interesting interconnected politics between the US and Mexico. It's a great read. Now, this book is available for free in 3 various locations. You can get it at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art, at the Roswell Public Library, or at Stellar Coffee on Main Street, and they have it available in both English and Spanish. So if you're interested in reading this book, we encourage you to do so. Pick it up at any of those 3 locations, and you can get more information at bigreadroswell.com. Now, I bring this up because I wanted to share with you a piece from the museum's collection that has a lot to do with these same themes of the border and migration. Now, this is a work by Luis Jimenez, who was an artist who was born in El Paso, Texas, and lived most of his life here in the American Southwest. And his grandfather actually migrated illegally from Mexico in the 1910s during the Mexican Revolution. They were fleeing all of the warfare that was happening in Mexico, and his grandfather carried his grandmother across the Rio Grande into the United States and later got his papers to be legally in the country. So Luis Jimenez, his grandfather, was from Mexico originally, and he made this particular print in 1999, a couple of years after there was an incident at the border. And he put the text right up here for us to understand it. Ezequiel Hernandez, el buen pastor, a tragic consequence of this country's insane and racist border policy was the murder of Ezequiel of Redford, Texas. While he tended his goats, the assassins were absolved since they were only, quote, following orders, and, quote, he fit the profile of a drug smuggler, so they said. And, I mean, this is a very difficult story. This young man was 18 years old and he was out there just taking care of his goats. And you can see the border patrol guys are sort of hidden in their camouflage amongst these little yucca plants. He couldn't really see them, and he had a little gun to protect his goats from wolves and coyotes and things. And I guess I'm not entirely sure of the whole story. Some people were shooting at him, he shot back to defend himself, and he ended up dead. 18 years old. It's a very sad story. But obviously, Luis Jimenez had issues with this, and in 1999 decided to make this print. Now, the image itself is taken from a stained glass window of a church, and it's meant to evoke these ideas of Jesus as the protector of lambs, of goats. So this is a very sort of common image in Christian iconography. This young man also has sort of a halo around his head, but if you really look at it, it also looks like the sights of a gun. So it's a very strong political statement that Luis Jimenez was saying in terms of the border policy between the US and Mexico, and those are a lot of the themes that are happening in this year's Big Read Roswell's book as well. So I hope you check out the book, and if you ever want to come see this image, it's right here at the Roswell Museum and Art Center. Thanks so much.